guys, welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Meghan Marie, and in today's video I am going to be doing an autism Q&A. For those of you that do not know, I do have a 3-year-old son who was diagnosed with autism in February, and so I had asked on Instagram any questions that anybody had regarding being an autism mom or just anything regarding autism. So I thought it would be great to shoot this video to answer those questions. So if you guys are interested in hearing more about our journey as well as getting the answers to some of your questions, then just keep on watching. Alright, so I do have my phone here with all of the questions so I can make sure that I get to all of them and don't forget anything. So the first question is, when did you start noticing signs of autism? So when he turned 1, I started to notice that things were different this time around. So I do have 2 other children before him, a son and a daughter. So I started to notice that when he was like growing and developing, that some things were different. I didn't necessarily suspect autism at all. I had never heard of autism, didn't know what it was. So it wasn't something that immediately like crossed my mind. I just noticed that, okay, he's developing differently and some things that I'm just not familiar with. So I happened to find an amazing pediatrician who is as well African American, and I just really expressed my concerns to her, and she was right on top of it as well, like noticing the things that he should have been doing, you know, at 1 year old, and you know, everything with their growth and behavior. So she suspected some things as well. She first had told me about sensory processing disorder. So that is also something we're going to talk about, but that also made sense with his behaviors and the things that he was doing. So that was the first thing that she noticed and kind of brought up. And so that's kind of where we started. The second question is, what were the signs you first noticed? So he did not talk. He had speech delays. He just, you know, didn't start talking, and I know some kids do start talking later. That's why, you know, I wasn't too like crazy about it. I just noticed, okay, he's not really talking. He wasn't saying mama, he wasn't saying dada. He did not point to objects when he wanted them. He wouldn't like let you know what he wanted. He would just cry and we would have to like figure out what he wanted. He would just throw tantrums. He was a very picky eater. He didn't really like to eat anything that required a lot of chewing. So just a lot of like the soft foods like applesauce, yogurt, mac and cheese, like things that he could basically just swallow if he wanted to. Like he didn't really like meat, anything that required chewing. He hated like pretzels, Cheerios, anything that was a harder consistency. He had a very short attention span, and I know that toddlers already have short attention spans, but his was like nothing. Like he didn't know how to just sit and play with toys like toddlers, you know how they just sit and kind of explore with toys. Like he didn't really do that. He didn't really like acknowledge his name when we would call him. He just, you know, was showing some signs that I wasn't, you know, familiar with. He actually also has a very high pain tolerance. Like this boy, nothing hurts him, like nothing at all. He is a daredevil, He jumps off everything, climbs on everything. He self-harms, like when he gets upset, throws his tantrums. He headbangs a lot. He scratches, bites, just a lot of all of that. So it just was a lot of things that I wasn't familiar with or used to. How old was your child when they were diagnosed? So when he was diagnosed, he was 2. He got diagnosed in February of 2020, earlier this year. That's when he received his official diagnosis. Like I said, everybody had thought that it was sensory processing disorder, which he does have, but we didn't really think it was autism at first, because his therapist, his pediatrician, like we really just thought more so sensory processing disorder and probably ADHD, because he is very hyperactive. Like, he cannot sit still, he cannot focus, none of that. So that's what we really thought it was, but he does in fact have autism. The next question was, what therapy does he receive? So right now he receives occupational speech therapy, and he's getting ready to start physical therapy. He did do feeding therapy as well, but he has now graduated that. So right now he's just doing the occupational speech and getting ready to start physical. Those are the ones that I suspect that he will be in more long term. With feeding, he has gotten extremely better. He's still a very picky eater, but now he will eat, you know, things that require more of the chewing, like meat, pretzels, things like that. He will eat those now, but he still is a very picky eater. Does he go to school or daycare? So he does go to developmental preschool Monday through Thursday. He goes from 9:15 to 11:45. And that is at the same school that his brother and sister go to, so that is really nice. He gets to see them. So it has been great for him. He enjoys it, he loves it, he wants to go every day. So that is really good for him to get that social interaction, and as well, you know, try to start learning and understanding the school setting. How is the process getting diagnosed? So thank God we had a really good pediatrician. I've heard horror stories about how frustrating it is trying to get the pediatricians to understand your concerns and see the signs and want to treat it earlier rather than later. I know a lot of pediatricians are like, well, let's wait and see, because, you know, with the toddler behavior, they say that it's hard to differentiate toddler behavior versus actual signs of autism, and so typically they want to wait. But with our pediatrician, she was like, it's better to start now so we can figure it out now, so that way if he does have it, we can catch it early and it's not later down the road, because it is harder for the kids if they don't get early intervention. So it was amazing. Like, she is literally God sent, and I truly believe that the Lord specifically led me to her when I was looking for a good pediatrician, and I'm just so thankful for her because she made the process so easy, like just so easily. And then typically they don't want to even see a psychologist before like 3 or 4, like I said, just because it's hard to differentiate that behavior. But we knew that the behavior that we were seeing was not just toddler behavior, and so I really had to advocate, as well as she did, to fight for us to get in to see a psychologist. It did take time. We were actually on, well, we still are on waiting list, you know, for psychologists. They are just so overbooked. There's so many kids that need to be seen, and there's just not enough. And especially once COVID started going on, you know, it made everything slower. So it was just really amazing that we got in to see that one, and that they allowed him to get evaluated at 2, which was literally amazing because we truly needed it. And they saw, like, once they evaluated him, they saw the extreme need for him to be evaluated. Is autism his only diagnosis? Right now, yes. He does have an appointment on January 8th to get evaluated for ADHD. When he got evaluated for autism, the psychologist did tell me that he strongly believes that he has ADHD as well. But of course, that's another thing. They don't want to test for ADHD usually until the child is 4 or 5, more so 5. And so he had told me, you know, it would be hard to get him evaluated so early, but he strongly suspected ADHD. As well, with his pediatrician and therapist, we all believe strongly he has ADHD. So we are so thankful we finally are getting in to see the psychiatrist. So I will definitely keep you guys updated on how that goes. But right now, yes, he just has the autism diagnosis. What are the biggest issues he is facing now? Sleep. Sleep has been the most stressful thing that I have ever endured. He has such a hard time sleeping. He has a hard time falling asleep, staying asleep, just he cannot. He has a hard time regulating his body to calm down for him to go to sleep. And then if he does fall asleep, he wakes up so quickly. And he's one of those children that if he wakes up, like, he can't go back down. We have been seeing a sleep doctor since, I want to say, about April. So he is on sleep medication, and that even in itself has been stressful because he is on so much medication. Literally. He takes melatonin, he takes clonazepam, and now he takes Benadryl. And if you are familiar with clonazepam, you will know it's a very strong drug. So when they found out, you know, he's on clonazepam and it's still not working, they're like, oh my goodness, like, okay, like, this is crazy, because he really cannot calm his body enough to go to sleep and stay asleep. So right now with those three combinations, we're seeing a little progress. His schedule typically, like, he'll go to bed around 7:30, especially if it's a school day, because he'll be really tired. On the weekend he goes to bed a little later, but he'll go to bed and he'll typically wake up around like 2. Then he'll stay up till 4, 5, fall back asleep and wake up at 6. So as you can tell, that's not very much sleep at all. And when he does wake up, like in the middle of the night, he's ready to play. Like, he doesn't understand, okay, let's lay down for a little bit, you know, let's relax, you know, it's time to go back to sleep, it's till nighttime. Like, he doesn't get that. He's up, he wants to play, he wants to wrestle, he wants to fight, he wants to jump on you. Like, so of course we're not getting any sleep, you know, it's very hard. Thank God I do have my mom, so 100% she helps so much, because honestly I don't know how we would do it if it was just us. Because for anybody who has a child with autism, you'll understand that you need a village. Like, first of all, if you're a mom in general, you know you need a village, but having an autistic child, you really need a village. So I'm not even gonna lie in front, for anybody, my mom helps so much. So we actually, you know, go back and forth. He does go back and forth with my mom and I, and me and Shakir. He does go back and forth. So, you know, we'll keep him for a few days and she'll keep him for a few days, and we kind of, you know, have the system, because we all have to get some sleep at some point, you know. So she makes it very helpful, you know, because I am back working now. So, you know, if we didn't have her, I probably couldn't work, because it is so much. So we do go back and forth, so that way we can each get a break, we can all get some sleep, and we can all, you know, be rested up to handle him. But sleep right now is one of the biggest issues that we are facing. He has a very small attention span, like I said, so it's very hard for him to focus on activities, do things with him. He is constantly moving. Like, he just can't control his little body. Like, he is just constantly moving, constantly jumping, just constantly. And he's very aggressive, so he loves to tackle, he loves to wrestle, he loves to fight. He's just very it's that sensory for him. He needs that strong impact. He always has to be slamming against stuff, jumping off stuff. Like, he loves to just jump and hit the ground. Like, it feels good to him, they say. So he just loves that impact. So it's very hard, because the boy is heavy, okay? He's 3 years old, but he's big. He's 40 pounds. So if you can imagine him, like, full-fledged, like, jumping on you, fighting you, like, it gets to be a lot. And he doesn't have that social awareness with other kids as well. So it's very hard for even, like, his siblings And with him having a younger brother who is really small, you know, he doesn't get that concept of being gentle and, you know, hurting him. And, you know, he even fights, you know, my older son, my older daughter. Like, he just loves that input. He, you know, will bite you, he will hit you, he will scratch you. Like, he is very violent. So that's one thing that we're dealing with, and that is very stressful, is that. Also, he is so strong. He can get out of anything. He can get out of his car seat in the car. He can get out of anything. Like, nothing can hold this boy down. And he's a safety risk. Also, because he doesn't understand, like, okay, you can't do this because then this will happen. Like, he has no comprehension of that. So, like, he doesn't understand that he has to sit in his car seat in the car, because if we get in an accident, you'll get hurt. Like, obviously he doesn't get that. So it is very hard, you know, driving with him, going places with him, because he just doesn't understand. He's also a runner. So he will just take off in the middle of a street. He will just run. Like, he has no comprehension level of, you know, cars could be coming or anything like that. So he's a flight risk. Very much so, to the point where we typically don't take him out if it's just one of us. Like, Shakir will, because he can handle him. But, like, if I have all the kids, I either will have Shakir with me, or me and my mom will go somewhere together. Like, we don't typically take him by ourselves, because it's just very dangerous, because we'll be, you know, handling one child and he may run away, or whatever the case may be. It's very hard to handle him when we have the others. He throws everything. He has broken 4 50-inch TVs. 4 of them, okay? He will throw anything and everything at them. He does not know how to play with toys correctly. He breaks every toy. He doesn't know how to play properly with them. So it's just like he just wants to break them, throw them, just whatever he can. So that makes it even harder, because it's like, we don't want to keep buying him toys just to break them. You know, we're trying to teach him and have him play and have him learn, but it's just very hard. He has to be watched 24/7, because he will get into any and everything. He is not one of those children that, you know, can roam the house and, you know, they'll come back, or, you know, you can just keep peeking in on them. No. You have to watch him. He has to have eyes on him at all times, because he can get into everything. He hurts and breaks everything. He recently broke Shakir's MacBook, the screen. So yeah, he's very damaging. So he has to be watched at all times. Have you started potty training? Is it different from potty training your other kids? So yes, we have tried to start potty training. It is very hard because of his comprehension level. He's not quite getting it. I don't know if it's more so he doesn't know the sensation of when he's about to go, or if he just doesn't know how to express it. One thing I wanted to add is he is verbal, but he's just very limited. He loves to repeat. So when it comes to him initiating things or initiating conversations, he can't really do that. It's just more so like if you say, let's go to the potty, he'll say potty. Or you want to eat. But more so him starting those conversations. He can with a few things, but his speech is just limited. So he is verbal, but it's just very limited. He does a lot of babbling, stuff you can't understand, things like that. So I think that's what also makes it hard with potty training as well, because his comprehension level isn't there. It's very hard for him to really comprehend things. But he did get approved for Autism for insurance. So they actually do have some people that can come out and help you potty train. They can, watch the child and, give you tips, tricks, figure out, what the child needs, how to help them understand, and kind of help you potty train. So that might be something that I may look into, just because he is going on 3.5, so it is something that I want to help him get down. But yeah, so we have tried. It is very, very different from my other kids. It was very much easier, so it is more of a struggle. Is it hard to find moms who share the same experience? Yes and no. I would say no, because we live in the world of social media, and that is the way to connect with other people who may be going through the same things that you're going through. So there are a lot of Facebook groups I am in that I have met a lot of moms, and we can like ask questions and give advice and, you know, vent and all of that type of thing. So that's really great to have that outlet on social media where you can meet people who are in the same situation as you and talk through things. But in my personal life, no. All of my friends that have kids don't truly understand, you know, what it's like to be an autism mom, because they don't have kids with autism. It would be really great to meet some moms in my city or my state who have autistic kids, not only for me to have moms that can relate, but also for Amari. I think it would be really great for him to be around other children who are like him, and hopefully that he can relate to, and just have some friends that, you know, are going through the same thing that he's going through. So it is, you know, hard in that aspect of finding people, you know, in my city or my state that I can hang out with or, you know, see face to face. But it is nice having those people over social media. Biggest unexpected struggle with a diagnosis. The biggest unexpected struggle, I would say, is just not knowing how this is truly going to impact him in the long run. I feel like as he's growing, we keep experiencing new things, going through different stages, obviously, as kids grow. And it's scary not to know how this is truly going to impact him. Like, is he going to be able to live a normal life? Is he going to be able to take care of himself? The unknown is really what scares me. I'm a person that doesn't like the unknown. I like to know, I like to plan. And so the fact that this is something that is unknown is scary. When he goes to see the psychiatrist, I personally do want to try medication. Because it is very hard. With all the things that I've expressed, I think that with a little medication, it would bring down that hyperactivity, and it would be a little easier to handle him. I think it would help him, prayerfully help him sleep. You know, I want to do what's best for him, and I really think that with what he's struggling with, being able to control his own self, his emotions, his just everything, I'm not opposed to medicine at all. And if that's what's best for him, to help him concentrate, to help him to be able to sit down and learn, and to have the best quality of life, then that's what I want. And so just the unknown of knowing how this is going to impact him in the long run is a struggle. It really is. And so I would say that is my biggest struggle, is just not knowing and thinking about, you know, how is his life going to be. Like, he is actually going to try, he has his first class on tomorrow, Saturday, for martial arts, and I've heard a lot of great stories about children with autism that martial arts has really helped them handle their emotions and their feelings, as well as teach them that discipline and everything like that. And so I'm hoping that this is something that he can do, that he enjoys, and that can help him, because like, he wants to play football with his brother. His brother plays flag football, and he wants to play. He loves basketball. He wants to be able to do all the things. And so I am praying that he will be able to do those things, that he will eventually grow and be able to have that comprehension level to be able to play the sports and understand how the game goes and all of that. But if not, I do want to find something that is more suitable for him. So for right now, we're trying martial arts. I'll let you guys know how that goes for him. But I'm praying that it is something that helps him, but also that he will be able to do every other sport that he wants to do. Advice I can give to someone going through this. It definitely takes a village. If you have a child with autism, reach out to anybody that you can. If you do not have family, if you don't have anyone, my heart truly goes out to you, because I know it's hard. And I am here if you need to talk, if you need advice. If you live in the Arizona area, definitely let me know, because we can definitely meet up. I know COVID's going on right now, but you know, I'm here. So definitely let me know, because I don't want anyone to go through this alone. You know, my heart in making this video was to share my experience and hope to help other people, and to bring awareness. As a mother, it was very hard for me, just because it's heartbreaking. It truly is, to, you know, see your baby go through something like this and not know exactly, you know, what to do or what you can do. Definitely research. I've read books, I've read articles, I've talked to everybody that I can possibly talk to, as far as doctors, therapists, just anybody that would have more information than me. We've seen a behavioral doctor. Just fight for your child. You are their advocate, and you just have to do everything that you can for your child. And also take time for yourself. Take time for yourself, because you can truly lose yourself in this process. It happened to me. It is very hard, and so you have to make time for yourself. And I know as moms, we feel bad, we feel selfish, but you can't pour from an empty cup. And you have to fill yourself up so that you can give everything you have for your child. So make sure that you're taking time for yourself, whether that's, you know, at night after they go to bed, or if you do have family and friends that can watch them so you can get out, or whatever you need, whatever fills up your cup, make sure that you're doing that, because it is a hard journey, it is a hard road, but I truly believe that God would not give these children to us if we couldn't handle them. He gives us the strength. And matter of fact, we don't have the strength ourselves. We don't have it, but he gives us that strength. And so I truly believe that he will give us what we need to make it through, even though it is very difficult. So my advice is to just continue to be the best mom that you can be. Continue to fight for your child, advocate for your child, take time for yourself, love yourself, and most importantly, be patient with yourself, because that is one thing that I struggled with, is being patient with myself. I'm a mom of 4. I recently went back to work. I'm a full-time student and a wife, and I realized that I had to be patient with myself. I am not going to be perfect in every area. As much as I try, it's just not going to happen. It's just not going to. But as long as I'm showing up and I'm doing my best every single day, that's all that matters. But I know that I have to take time for myself. I have to, you know, make that time for me to be able to fill my cup up so I can be the best for my family. And so that is probably my best advice. I don't know, kind of went off a little bit, but that is just truly my best advice. And like I said, if you ever need to talk, ever, if you have any questions or you need anything, I am always here. You can reach out. I would love to talk. I would love to chat. Like I said, I love to meet other people who are going through the same thing. So I'm definitely here. Alright guys, well that was all the questions that I had for today. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe and join the family. Like and share this video. And hit the bell button so you never miss another video. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.